मैम क्या हुआ आज कोर्ट में?
मैडम
मैम बताइए क्या हुआ कोर्ट में आपकी याचिका पर? मैम हिंदी में पहले
रिदम।
यस रोलिंग रोलिंग चलिए मैम।
आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने मेजर आदित्य के फादर की जो पिटिशन हमने फाइल करी थी सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सामने, उस पिटिशन पे नोटिस इशू करते हुए जे.एन.के गवर्नमेंट और यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया को नोटिस इशू किया है। जे.एन.के गवर्नमेंट और यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया को ये कहा है कि 2 हफ्ते में अपना रिस्पांस दें और अपना स्टैंड क्लियर करें। एडिशनली कोर्ट ने ये रिक्वेस्ट करी अटॉर्नी जनरल ऑफ इंडिया को कि हम एक पिटिशन की कॉपी अटॉर्नी जनरल ऑफ इंडिया के ऑफिस में सर्व करेंगे और अटॉर्नी जनरल यूनियन गवर्नमेंट का स्टैंड 2 हफ्ते में कोर्ट के सामने क्लियर करेंगे। कोर्ट ने हमारी जो स्टे की प्रेयर थी उस पे भी कोर्ट का ये डायरेक्शन है कि इस एफआईआर के परसुएंस में मेजर आदित्य के ऊपर कोई भी कोअर्सिव एक्शन नहीं लिया जाएगा। तो हमारी पिटिशन को कोर्ट ने कॉग्निजेंस में लिया है। कोर्ट पे नोटिस इशू करते हुए इंटरिम प्रोटेक्शन देते हुए सरकारों को जवाब देने के लिए कहा है और 2 हफ्ते बाद अब इस मैटर की आगे सुनवाई।
मैम मानती है कि कहीं ना कहीं एक बड़ा मामला था जिसको लेकर फिलहाल सरकार की तरफ से जो एफआईआर दर्ज किया गया है वो गलत है?
अगर हमें नहीं लगता कि ये मामला बड़ा था तो हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सामने कभी नहीं आते। देखिए ये एक पॉइग्नेंट डे भी है क्योंकि एक फादर, मेजर आदित्य के फादर, ऑलमोस्ट ही फेल्ट कंपेल्ड टू कम टू सुप्रीम कोर्ट। आर्टिकल पिटिशन सीधा सुप्रीम कोर्ट में फाइल करी। खाली बात फंडामेंटल राइट्स ऑफिसर और उनके फादर की नहीं थी। इसका कहीं ना कहीं हमने अपनी पिटिशन में कहा है कि इसका सिग्निफिकेंस और इसका इम्पैक्ट फौज के मोराल पे होता है और क्योंकि वो फौज इंडियन फ्लैग की डिग्निटी के अपहोल्ड करने के लिए खड़ी है तो कहीं ना कहीं देश की सॉवरेंटी, इंटीग्रिटी और नेशनल सिक्योरिटी पे भी बहुत इम्पैक्ट होता है। तो ये सारे इश्यूज जो हमने सीरियस इश्यूज रेज किए थे उन सब को कोर्ट ने उसकी कॉग्निजेंस लेते हुए नोटिस इशू किया है। द पिटिशन दैट वाज वी हैड द पिटिशन ऑफ मेजर आदित्य's father Colonel Karamveer Singh listed before the bench of Honorable Chief Justice Chandrachud and Justice Khanvilkar. The Honorable Court has taken
Okay, that's the lawyer Aishwarya Bharti who's representing Major Aditya and his father in the Supreme Court. Let me quickly check if Suesha...
Clarify the stand of Government of India also within 2 weeks. J&K government of course has to clarify its stand within 2 weeks. And on our prayer for interim relief, the Honorable Court has been pleased to direct that no coercive action will be taken against Major Aditya Kumar in pursuance of the FIR that has been lodged against him. So I feel that it's a very positive, encouraging day. Poignant at the same time because serving officer's father, who's himself a serving officer, a Kargil war veteran, had been forced to come before the Honorable Apex Court of the country. We felt that if officers and soldiers are going to be persecuted, if there will be FIRs registered against them for upholding the sovereignty and dignity of the country in exercise of their bona fide duty, which is upholding the dignity of the Indian flag, then it reflects very, very strongly. It has a numbing impact on the morale of the forces, which somewhere has a connection with the national security. So,
why was this FIR bad in law?
Well, it was bad in law because, the people who had actually indulged in anti-national and terrorist activities, the actions that mob had taken, that mob had become the stone pelters, and it went to the extent of the JCO that he had gotten down to reason with the crowd. That JCO was sought to be lynched, his weapon was snatched, there was injuries, serious injuries to soldiers, and when retaliatory action is taken by the Indian Army soldiers and officers to protect the property, life and limb of the officers, then an FIR is registered, not leaving aside those people who are actually perpetrators of these heinous offences which are terrorist activities and anti-national activities, and you name the major who's leading that army convoy in exercise of its bona fide duties in the FIR. So there is serious perversity and serious illegality, which is why we...
Ishwara, the Supreme Court has said that there is indeed a procedure in which you can lodge an FIR against an army officer, but there has to be a preliminary inquiry in that matter. Was that procedure followed? Was that preliminary inquiry done in this case?
So we have to understand that army does not operate in civilian areas just by itself. Army operates in civilian areas
There's indeed a procedure in which you can lodge an FIR against an army officer, but there has to be a preliminary inquiry in that matter. Was that procedure followed? Was that preliminary inquiry done in this case?
So we have to. Army has its own protocol, standard operating procedures, etc. It is only when it is excesses, not in bona fide actions. Government of the day, when there is a special mandate given to the army, and of course army has to work where there is a special protection. Armed Forces Special Powers Act has to be enforced, and that specific regime has to be laid down. Now, when army comes in to serve there, army has its own protocol, standard operating procedures, etc. It is only when it is excesses, not in bona fide actions. That is the distinction that has to be drawn. And lodging of the FIR on supposedly on the behest of higher ups in the political circles and higher ups in the administrative circle, not naming anybody else, but naming the major who is leading that army convoy, smacks of arbitrariness and illegality. It did not. So FIR was lodged without any preliminary inquiry and just against Major Aditya.
The father has so far not spoken out to the press, but we just met him inside the court. What were his sentiments when you told him this entire news?
Well, you can appreciate that a father who's himself serving in the army for 20 years plus, who's himself a veteran of the Kargil war, who has served in very, to the best of his capacity, valor, courage in the Indian Army. So Major Aditya is a second generation officer, and when the father has to come to the court, to the Supreme Court for ensuring that his son is able to carry out his bona fide duties, to carry out the duties that he has sworn to carry out. The Supreme Court taking cognizance of this petition, of course, he is very, very happy, very elated.
This is not the first time that an army officer has been named in an FIR. What upset Lieutenant Karamveer that much? Because Major Gogoi had been named in an FIR as well. Is it your case that no army officer should be named in FIRs in Jammu and Kashmir?
Yes, no army officer can be named, army officer or soldier can be named in AFSPA operation areas without the procedure that is laid down in AFSPA. AFSPA, it's not like there is a complete immunity. AFSPA also prescribes that there has to be an inquiry. That inquiry has to be and a proper sanction by the government. So nobody is running away from inquiries. But you can't have that only one-sided FIR is lodged against the person who's commanding that convoy that is peacefully going for carrying out its bona fide duties, and the people who are actually blocking them, putting them in risk of life and limb, who are lynching and mobbing these people and that amounts to terrorist activities. So it can't be that it can be one-sided FIR just on the saying of the so that is the important distinction here.
Okay. What is the next date of hearing and how does this matter go forward?
The matter is now listed after 2 weeks. There's no specific date, but after 2 weeks the two respective governments have to give their stand and the matter will go on from there.
Right. Can I speak to you, Aishwarya, for a minute?
All over?
No, I think the bite is over.
Aishwarya, 1 second. Aishwarya.
Requested Attorney General for India to give the take the stand of the Government of Union of India and give it before the court. Additionally, on the issue of stay, when we requested for stay of the FIR, the court has given us that interim protection and said that no coercive action will be taken against Major Aditya Kumar in pursuance of the FIR that is registered.
But one question that I wanted to ask you is about what happened inside the courtroom when you were talking. The Supreme Court clearly said no coercive action. That means there's no stay, but we can clearly say there will be no action that would be coercive against it.
So, Rhythm, it does amount to a stay in a certain manner because the only person who's named in that FIR is Major Aditya Kumar.
Okay.
So, there no coercive action against Major Aditya Kumar in respect of that FIR clearly means that no further proceedings can be
taken. You are speaking to the father, you've represented the father, he keeps thanking you in here, but we've also seen the condition of the mother, the wife of Major Aditya. She's pregnant, she's 8 months pregnant, she's going through a really tough time with this entire FIR that's been filed there. How are we supposed to see the duress of the family here, Aishwarya?
Rhythm, you have to appreciate that these are officers and soldiers. Major Aditya is a second generation soldier. So he has been sworn to the Indian Constitution. He has been sworn to uphold the dignity of the Indian flag. When you send that officer and soldier to uphold the dignity of the Indian flag, you say that I will tie up your hands, I will put a blindfold on your eyes, and now you go and fight. That can't happen. What are you doing for the soldiers? These soldiers soldiers are performing their bona fide duties. If you are going to book them in criminal proceedings for exercising their bona fide actions, how do you expect other soldiers of the Indian Army to perform the bona fide actions? And you see what the situation is there. As we speak, the situation is extremely volatile. There are our soldiers who are laying down their lives in the line of duty. Who's going? And line of duty, you persecute them for acting in the line of duty. So that is the important thing, and we are very happy that the Honorable Supreme Court has taken.
There are so many other cases you've done earlier also for the army. You yourself are an army man's daughter. Several other cases. But the question here is, what about the kind of action that the Jammu and Kashmir government took? How could they be so callous when it comes to someone who's fighting for the army?
Not just callous, Rhythm. The Jammu and Kashmir government, the Chief Minister has given a statement. It's in the media. She's given a statement that the FIR has been registered on her. She has authorized that FIR to be registered. And mind you, FSPA comes into being by the consent and request of the civilian government. If they don't want army there, the civilian authorities, if they are capable of taking care of situations, then they just get rid of FSPA. Let army go and do what they want to do. Or they have to do. You can't be having it two ways. And the police forces who have lodged the FIR against Major Aditya, they were duty bound to ensure a safe passage to this convoy. Instead of providing a safe passage, ensuring that there is no harm to these officers and soldiers and to military property, the Government of India property, they go and lodge an FIR against the Major.
Okay. My last question, do you think the army is going to be completely supporting Major Aditya here? Because we do hear there's a full support for him.
I have no doubt in my mind. I think the ethos of the Indian Army are not going to leave this. So they've already come out. I mean, the counter FIR, which of course the police authorities have not registered, but the counterpoint that the army authorities have given, it's very, very clear. They will not, ethos will not leave their officer out in the lurch.
All right, clearly India is with Major Aditya, and that's the clear thing that we are also getting from Aishwarya Bhatti. Even after she gives this reaction to everybody, the first reaction that's given out to her exclusively on Republic is that the Indian forces are completely with Major Aditya, and that's the clear view that's coming in, even as we are seeing